Hello and welcome to the Unverified Podcast. I'm your host, Simi, aka Tamago247, and I am joined by three wonderful co-hosts, Reese, aka Gamercertum.
You sound different, Simba.
We've also got Israel, aka Izzy Rail.
Hiya.
Hello. And of course, we could not do this without Isaac, aka the editor, aka Mechna Gamer.
Simi, I don't think you understand. For the past, every single week which I've been editing, I've been removing every instance of my name being mentioned as the editor, and now you do this in a way I physically can't remove it.
Wait. Why don't you want it to be known?
No, I don't want to associate with this.
Damn.
Oh, okay. You know, understandable.
Even the Tamago clout ain't enough for him.
I'll redo it. We've got Isaac, aka the Freeloader, aka Mechna Gamer. What's up, man?
Wild.
Oh, wow, Simba, it looks like hay fever's gotten to you. Damn, your voice sounds heckin' different.
You know what? Hay fever has been getting to me. It's summer. It's hot. The pollen is out to attack. I was checking the freaking weather reports, and for the past 3 days, it said the pollen count is very high, the highest level it can be. How are you guys doing with hay fever?
I went out yesterday just to do a bit of cycling, and I'm sure I at one point went through what could only be described as a carpet. I was like, there's no other way to go, huh?
So far I've noticed that hay fever seems to come. I've only gotten hay fever now because usually I get it through spring. Granted, spring was pretty warm-ish, but I've been wearing masks. So far it's been kind of more difficult for me to get hay fever, but I now have hay fever now. So
wait, am I the only one here who doesn't have hay fever?
I was about to ask. So you've been unaffected?
Oh, I feel so powerful.
I just remember being in secondary school and we had exams, end of year exams, and I did so terrible in my exams thanks to hay fever because I was just sneezing into tissues. I literally couldn't finish an exam because I was just sneezing into tissues.
I relate to that heavily. Actually, one time in my exam, before an English literature exam, I went to the exam officer and I said, I'm going to be sneezing a lot. So could you maybe put me in a different room? I don't want to, because obviously the exam hall is loud and it has acoustics. Yep. I don't want it to just be
just echoing the whole way
for the whole freaking exam.
No, I want to remind you, this happened to me during during mocks, right? I was sat behind someone, I was sneezing a lot, I had tissues. I was sneezing so bad, the person in front of me put his hand up to call the invigilator to tell on me about me sneezing. What am I meant to do?
I get that.
Oh, man.
To be honest, right, I may not have hay fever, but there was one time in an exam, I think it might have been a mock, hopefully it wasn't the real thing, but I was sick, I had a cold, and I sneezed, and you know how now that I sneeze bass anyway?
Yes.
Adding the acoustics, adding it echoing about.
Just for the viewers, this dude could clear a whiteboard if he sneezes on it. It's so freaking powerful. How are we feeling about the, aside from hay fever, how are you feeling about the heat overall?
Right. I don't like rain too much because I don't like having to, wear a coat sometimes. Oh, there's some coats, doesn't matter. But I hate the heat because the heat just prevents you from doing anything whenever you're sweating. The heat is even worse when you just want to sleep because it just prevents you from sleeping because you're just going to be all gross and sweaty. You're just going to be tossing and turning, not able to sleep. And maybe, you want to open up your window and have the fan on at the same time. And then, guess what? You've got flies too coming in your windows. Get ready for some, some diseases and bites.
What? Get ready for some diseases.
Bacteria, sorry. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Nah, during the summer, the flies really thrive. This is their time. Have you ever seen a fly, sort of close up, how it, rubs its hands together in a mischievous way?
Yes.
That's how they feel during the summer. They're like, yeah, boy, they're going to open their windows. Let's go. Yeah.
What's worse for me, though, with this, because in the last, 2 weeks or so, right, pretty much every single day they've said, this is the hottest day of the year. And I've been sort of, in my final main 2 weeks of doing uni work. And I ended up being up all night, falling asleep, and never really planning to go to sleep. It just happening, which meant my PC was on for about a week or two straight of the hottest weather of the year, just adding to the heat. And it's like, I can either choose to have my window open all the way, or my door open, otherwise my cats try and come into my room and jump out my window. And so I've just been living in this box of heat for 2 weeks, just dying.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't think I'm gaming in this season at all. There is no such thing as gaming on my laptop.
Every season's for gaming.
It's always gaming season. Also, Israel, I'm sorry, right? What you were saying about the flies, how they entering your room. I just feel like you just need to man up a bit and just murder them all. Like,
Whilst I'm sleeping, I want to sleep.
Dude, murder them anyway. Murder them whenever you see them. Like, I'm past the point of just accepting them at this point, and I will murder them in cold blood. They do not survive here.
Trust me, I tried to murder flies. At this point, it's getting to the point where I will just find a spider outside and just get a group of spiders and just plant them on the side of the wall where my window is, so hopefully flies just don't get in. Maybe I might have
plant spiders? Like, as in physically pick them up and put them... Damn, you are freaking...
No, that was a joke. That was a joke.
That was a joke.
Bro, Israel is powerful.
That was a joke, but it is looking like a strategy.
It could be.
Israel gets a pet spider just so that it eats all the flies in his house.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? I go for 1 minute and y'all planning to give habitat to spiders.
You know what?
I'm sorry, what? What, Simi? Come again?
So all right. So, like, when I was younger, I wanted a pet. I really wanted a pet, right? But I could never have one. I couldn't have a dog or this or that. So then I was like, okay, how about I have a pet spider? You know, I feel like a pet spider is cool.
Huh?
So I asked my mom, I was like, could you help me capture a spider? And she was like, okay, yeah, sure. So she got a Play-Doh pot, right? And she trapped like one of those really thin house spiders in the pot for me. And then she gave it to me. Like, here's your spider. I caught it for you. And I was like, oh, damn. And I looked at it. And within like an hour, I threw it outside because it was so freaky. It was so freaky. Just having a spider in a pot and you know it wants to leave. And I'm just like, oh my God. I feel like I feel like a freaking prison owner, but also I don't even want the prisoner. Like, this is just awful.
Simi, when you threw it out, did you at least like let it out?
Pot? Okay, I opened it, screamed, I tossed the whole pot. I didn't even like empty it out of the pot. I just tossed the pot. Honestly, I don't know if the spider made it, honestly, but hey, it was free.
I just found out I can't trust you people today. That's crazy.
But you know what? I actually do very heavily relate to the sort of hot box room. For some reason, my room is always the hottest in the house. I say for some reason. I know why it is. My room directly catches sunlight.
How do you live? How do you like physically survive through any one of your streams with a window closed, your PC on, and then lights directly on you?
You find a way. When there's a will, there's a way. And apparently E3 felt the same because despite not having a physical location, they still managed to make it happen. I'm going to be real. I didn't even know it was E3 until it was happening. But were you guys clued in on it?
Yeah, I had no idea it was happening. And then the entire internet was like, oh my God, there's a Nintendo Direct. Finally, the Switch Pro. Trust me, guys, this week it's being announced. And then I discovered apparently other people were like, hey, sure, we'll show some games off too. Well, some people show off games. Some people just sit there for an hour and, twiddle their thumbs.
So wait, which conferences were you guys most interested in, if any?
I play Halo, so obviously Microsoft. So yeah, that was going to be the most obvious one for me. But I was interested to also see in the Microsoft conference with Bethesda being there as well. I think I was interested to see if they had anything. But that was about it.
Yeah, I rocked up in my cloud suit, being excited for Xbox Bethesda.
Yeah. And what came of it? Any Skyrim 6 news?
Skyrim 6.
Silly, right?
My man said Skyrim 6.
Listen, they really disrespected the Elder Scrolls, right? They showed like the existence of Elder Scrolls Online, sure, but they didn't necessarily like talk about like the new update that just came out or the new update that's planned to come out. They kind of like just like briefly mentioned it in a sentence. Then they went to their Fallout, MMO, Fallout 76, and was like, oh, look at this new fancy update. Look at all this new stuff we're adding. Then they went, hey, Skyrim, You know, it's the 10th anniversary this year. Anyway, let's continue. Didn't even announce it for PS5. You know, crazy, insane. Can't believe it.
Oh, yeah, that is very
that's
surprising
crazy.
for Bethesda.
Oh, yeah, that-
And then at the end of the conference, you know, you have, I think it was,
My big boy
Phil.
Phil.
Over there. Yeah. Just sort
Yeah.
of, you know, listing a few things they're working on. And then, you know, they were just like, we're excited to be working on, you know, Halo, Elder Scrolls 6, you know, Forza, whatever. Just casually name dropped it. Never showed anything, ever.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years since they showed us that title.
Literally a PNG, dude. I bet it was even a
Yeah.
JPEG.
What was it? Did you guys see the Forza announcement trailer?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What was up with it?
Well, no, nothing was up with it, right? I'll just, for the people in the channel, Sibby more specifically, I'll send a picture, a tweet there. It just shows
Oh
like
my
a few
God, I
pictures
saw
of
this
it,
tweet.
right? I saw the opening of Forza. It opens with a nice textured beach with some nice rocks. Then it goes into a field, pans over, you know, some nice grass, some nice open field. Then it looked at mountains, and I was like, yo, I think I recognize the mountains, you know. This is also, I believe, the final thing at the conference too. This is like the big end reveal.
Oh.
And I was like, alright, this is it, guys. What we've been waiting for. It's here. And then a car drove through. I was like, huh?
That's all that needed to happen. You're like, no.
It's like, that doesn't belong. Why is this here?
Forza is actually just the new Elder Scrolls game confirmed.
Oh my God, imagine that, you know.
Younger scrolls,
imagine.
modern scrolls, bro. Oh my God. Yeah. You know, it must actually suck as a games developer to be at something like E3 and people are watching, hoping that your game is another game. And then when it's revealed to be your game, you just hear people go, "Aw."
They're just disappointed.
But Sibby, sometimes, right, you show your game and you're still not even the one who shows it properly. Like Ubisoft, right? You know,
Right.
Far Cry 6, Ubisoft's like only game that people are looking forward to being released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They showed a tiny little like CGI, like basically just a cutscene from the game. But then at the next day, for the Xbox conference, Far Cry shows up again, but actually shows like almost some gameplay and the game and like a more interesting trailer. It's like, Ubisoft, why are you not even announcing your games at your game conference?
Right, yeah, that is odd. Like, I feel like that's even something similar to what happened a couple of years ago, where a lot more was revealed at an Xbox conference than at the actual game developers conference.
Honestly, my favorite thing about Ubisoft was just the fact that they really just had to rename Rainbow Six Quarantine, and it's now Rainbow Six Extraction because of the last year and a half of quarantine. They didn't like it.
Yeah, we don't want people to get traumatized while they're dealing with hostage situations in Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
Did they show off anything about Beyond Good and Evil 2? Because I remember really liking the CGI
I
trailer
don't
they showed for
think
it in
so.
like 2015. And I'm just
Is
like,
that Ubisoft?
yo, where's that game
Or-
at? Yeah, it is Ubisoft.
Yeah, no, they didn't show anything at this E3. The only game Ubisoft showed in any significance was Rainbow Six Extraction.
Okay, yeah. And how about the Nintendo conference?
Showed a new Mario Party and a bunch of other stuff no one should care about.
For someone who's never played a game of Mario Party, I don't get why they would, at least from what I on the basis of what I understand of Mario Party, it's like just a fun, family-friendly party game that you play with people
No.
over to your house. No?
No.
Okay, maybe
It's
not
a fun, family-friendly party game
Sorry.
where you want to kill each
To
other
lose
by the
friends
end of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that sort of game. And so, I don't know, I don't see the point of making a sequel to it. I don't get it. Any reason as to why there'd be a sequel?
It's, well, because pretty much a Mario Party, to my knowledge, has been on every single platform. So, like, N64, GameCube, Wii, whatever. All of them. Maybe not DS. And so you have all the mini-games that say you've grown up with. And now it's sort of a thing, if they're taking the old mini-games from, like, the GameCube and 64 type Mario Party games, the current people haven't played them. And so sort of like, yeah, the mini-games are a big part of it. And also with new boards, it's not just like I'll just go here. Each board usually has its own like little like gimmick and style to it to change how each board plays slightly. And so they could, I guess, just release an update for the existing one on the Switch. But
A lot
Money.
of people are saying it should have just been an update, to be honest. But yeah, like we said, money. Like they can sell it as a new game, so they are.
I was expecting an update. Damn, even Nintendo's joined the club.
But yeah, like in the Nintendo Direct, it was more like there were a few things for like a few niche communities. So like there was some SMT5, which I know no one here cares about. There was a new 2D Metroid game, which again like looks cool, but I'm not sure how much people here care about it either. What else was there? There was, I mean, they announced a new fighter for Smash Bros. Who
I hear it's from Tekken, right? Like Kayuza or something like that.
Yeah, Kazuya.
Okay.
I guess they also showed some lame Breath of the Wild trailer, but I don't know why people care for that.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yes,
Breath of the Wild too.
Okay, cool.
How did I genuinely forget about that?
Because the first one was so bad.
Reese is joking. Don't roast him.
I am not joking. I'm being 100% serious, Simi.
Wait, you don't like Breath of the Wild?
No, Breath of the Wild was trash, bro.
No, I also didn't enjoy Breath of the Wild. The reason why I didn't enjoy it is because like when I play games, I enjoy being not great at a game because that just, in my opinion, opens up a lot more ways to play the game.
Mm.
Whereas, if you're strong, it can just be like, I don't really need to worry about any of the encounters. I can just kind of hit it till it dies.
Yeah.
And, be good there. And so Breath of the Wild, you start off really weak. You start off literally with nothing. All the items which you get early on break. They're like, super brittle. You can barely, you need to consider each and every encounter. Yeah, there's a very, very, quick, just escalation of power to the point where I just kind of sneezed and things would die. I didn't take damage. Also, once you start playing a lot, the shrines become very repetitive. I'm sure Reese will probably go on a run about that in a moment. And then it's just yeah.
I vaguely kind of enjoyed Breath of the Wild, especially early game, because most of it was me being really stupid in the game, and also that game made me felt like I was a genius sometimes. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, see, Israel, that's the part of the game which I enjoyed. For example, there were times when I was like, oh crap, all my weapons are broken. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to try to fight all these enemies who are way higher level than me with just the default bombs on me. I just try to kite them all into the bombs.
Oh my god.
And things like that.
No.
And those were really interesting scenarios, or trying to blast them off mountains basically.
Mm-hmm.
But then towards the end, it was just I don't really need to worry about anything breaking. I was literally going around just because I can, I'm going to go around the entire map hunting the strongest enemies in each and every region. And yeah, it wasn't really a challenge because there was.
See, for me, it's not even a challenge thing. I don't necessarily care about a challenge. I'm not a gamer like you, Isaac. It was just a thing of the entire story of the game is kill these 4 bosses, then go kill Ganondorf, or kill Ganondorf immediately and kill the 4 bosses during his fight. That was the whole game, and it's okay, that's maybe 1 dungeon worth of a real game to me. The rest of the game was just go walk around this map. Sure, it looks pretty, whatever, but it's just walk around, and the only way to sort of build up your skills and whatnot is to do the shrines. There's 109 shrines in the game?
No, 120. 120. I did them all.
And out of them 120 shrines, there's maybe 5 or 10 variations, which just means every single
6.
shrine is the exact same. And then, don't get me started on Koroks. That's just another problem in and of itself.
I actively started dodging them because I was like, no, not again. Because Koroks they're basically how you increase your inventory space. You might do a task where there's a circle of stones, there's one missing, you put a stone there. Oh, there's a Korok, he gives you a Korok seed to increase your inventory slots.
Right.
Or here's a pattern, complete the pattern. There's a Korok seed basically. However, they were just so everyone could be anything. Literally pick up this rock. There's a Korok underneath it, or stand here. There's a Korok.
That's another one. There was about 10 Korok puzzles and 1,000 Koroks.
So they were just giving you hella inventory space, or what?
Not necessarily.
So at first it starts off with 1 to increase your inventory, then 2, and then, it increases like that. However, by the point you have 10 inventory slots, you're kind of good for the rest of the game.
Yeah. I was also a big fan of the older Zelda games. Most of the top-down 2D ones. Where there was just such a much better focus on a more puzzle-solving aspect, and the dungeons were more interesting and whatnot. And it was a nice clear progression through the game. And yeah, Breath of the Wild just doesn't have that. It was just disappointing. Yeah. And then when everyone was best game ever made, best Zelda game ever made, game of the year, game of the century, I was just how? How much are Nintendo paying you?
This is really interesting to hear because, as someone who's never played Breath of the Wild, I've only heard great things about it, about how it's one of the best Nintendo games ever made. So for you guys to almost be unanimous in how you feel about the game, I was like, oh, damn, okay. Is this like a common sentiment, or would you guys say you're quite outliers when it comes to how you're feeling about this game and even your excitement for the sequel?
I'd like to believe we're not outliers and it's just Nintendo been, doing the rounds with their checkbook and haven't got to us yet. But yeah, no, I think everyone else loves the game for some unknown reason.
Don't get me wrong, the game looks pretty. I wouldn't say stunning, but it looks pretty. The art style's nice and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it does give you quite a bit of freedom. But with that freedom, it becomes like, okay, right, like, say, you start off a game, you start off really bad, so, you learn the things, you learn how to do everything, you learn interesting ways to play.
Yeah.
Another game now powers you up, so you still have all of that knowledge, but you've also got weapons which can, like, almost one-hit everything.
Okay, yeah.
I like playing games that are unstoppable, God.
See, I'm the kind of person where a bit of challenge is okay, but not too much challenge, because it gets to the point where I'm like, okay, I will literally stop caring about whether or not I complete it or not, because by the time I complete it, I'll be like, oh, okay, that was it, done. Because by the end of it, like the happiness I'll get from completing it doesn't feel as worth as the effort I put into it. Basically,
right? Yeah, I totally get that.
I mean, the thing is, I feel like we're all like that. Just depends on where we draw the line. For example, for me, like I've decided to for some games which when I was young I couldn't complete. I've literally gone back in adulthood just to beat them, just to go, yeah, I did it. Whereas I know for some people, like 5 minutes of playing a game which they can't do is just like, yeah, never again. So it just depends on where we all draw the line. But yeah, for me, Breath of the Wild is far, far, far too low.
Okay, when it comes to difficulty, I can actually really understand that because I'm playing the new Ratchet and Clank game on the PS5 right now, and I'm playing it on stream, and my stream audience encouraged me to play it on the hardest difficulty. And bro, it's so weird. It's such a juxtaposition to have a game with all these cute graphics, and then the enemies are just non-stop hitting you. Like, the difficulty isn't even just that they have more health. It's like there is, in a game like Ratchet and Clank, the way you survive is by dodging the bullets. So if they're shooting on the left, you dodge to the right. If they're below, you jump. If they're shooting left, right, up and down, where do you go?
Oh, actually, yeah, I think I've seen a clip of you playing the game, and yeah, it just becomes a bullet hell at points.
Yeah.
Simi, at that point, you just become ethereal.
You phase through it.
That's literally a mechanic in the game. That's literally a mechanic in the game. You phase for like half a second.
Then you've got your answer, Simi. Just phase through it.
Yeah,
I was going to say you could use cover, but then cover's destructible in that game as well, right? Yeah,
it's destructible. Cover like lasts for 3 seconds. And then you have to move. Oh my goodness. But no, like I do like playing a game that's tough and then I feel like I can get good at it, I really like feeling like I've acquired skill.
Yeah, honestly, personally to me, I think the only time where my happiness will be worth the effort I put in, it's usually when it comes to like multiplayer games. Because some multiplayer games, you're fighting against another person. So I guess maybe for me, I may be a sadist and I just want to dominate people because hey, my form of happiness is just beating up, being better than people apparently.
Understandable.
That's understandable. Yeah, I mean, because it is that sort of skill level of, I am provably better than another person. Whereas when you're playing against a computer, it is almost like, okay, I beat this, but someone else also beat it. Sure, they're on the easier difficulty, but who cares? We still got to see the same cutscene at the end.
Yeah, but Sibi, if that same game then has a leaderboard...
yeah. That switches it up.
Seeing yourself at number 1 on the leaderboard,
Can we, ban leaderboards for at least every game, which Reese and I share?
No, the amount of times I've wasted on FIFA just playing the small mini game modes just so I can be on top of my friends list for that. Or Geometry Wars.
Israel, forget that. N++, right? On Switch, it had a leaderboard. And so me, one of our friends, Josh, and Reese, basically, were all playing that game. And we were sort on the first level for the longest time. Not because we didn't complete it, but because we all realized that, if you hit, a jump, a turn, absolutely perfectly, you could save, 0.1 seconds, and were trying to top each other's times.
Oh man.
And it kept on like going on. And then when we finally did that, we're like, you want to know what we're done with first level? It just happened again with the next level.
See,
and so I'm just like,
the problem with this is when we all got M++ and started on that, this was literally just off of the back of me and Josh on a game called Spy Chameleon, which is sort of a get from the start to the finish while avoiding like cameras and like security guard type things. It's just sort of like dodge everything and get to the end. And then it got to the point where by the time we had finished with that game, of I beat his time, he beats my time, either me or Josh was number 1 on the leaderboard in the world on every single level in that entire game, and there was physically no way to increase the time, except for a few, because there was a couple hackers who finished the entire level in 0 seconds. But every legitimate time and leaderboard, me and Josh were either first or second or like joint first on every level in the game, and it was just like and then we went straight to M++. It's like, we just got to continue this, you know?
That's pretty cool. That's like the power of competition in gaming.
Yeah.
No, that's very cool. I would say I like to. I've always said that I like a balanced experience when it comes to playing a game. However, recently as I've been playing games more, I am appreciating more the harder difficulties because. Yeah. When you're playing on normal or even the easier difficulties, you can get away with something that Isaac described earlier, which is like, just hit the enemies until they're dead, right? You don't actually have to learn the different parts of the game or utilize your items or the skills. It's basically, it makes the game very linear. And so when you actually have to employ everything in your arsenal, it makes for a much richer experience. So going forward, I'm definitely going to be playing games on the harder modes. I'm not sure on the hardest modes because I don't think Ratchet and Clank should be this hard, honestly.
I get it.
That's fair.
To me, it really depends on the game. If the game has like very interesting gameplay, like say the Spider-Man games or like Cuphead, and it's just sort of like an actually fun game to play, I may go for the hardest difficulty because like, sure, give me the challenge for it. But if the gameplay is just absolutely terrible and I hate it, like Last of Us or something, I'm just like, put this on like normal and get me through this.
I'll let it slide. You know what? I've been convinced. I'm lowering the difficulty next time I play Ratchet and Clank.
Your stream is going to be angry.
I'm pulling out for it, Sibby.
Oh, no. I was going to do it without them ever knowing.
Let him do it, and when they ask why, just go, if you want to know why, check out the Unverified Podcast.
Oh, there we go. We love that promotion. Hell yeah.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Available day 1 on Game Pass.
That was the entire Xbox presentation.
No, that was the Xbox conference because they don't really have any exclusives. I think was Starfield an exclusive, or was that day 1 on Game Pass? I can't remember.
Starfield is Xbox exclusive.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that was actually not on PC.
Right. Yeah, which is the new... And for those who don't know, Starfield is the new Bethesda IP that they're working on. Same with... Yeah. So they're actually going new IP. Fallout and the Elder Scrolls.
There was an Elder Scrolls 6 announcement, wasn't there?
Wait, there was? What was it?
Reese, are you about to talk about that, like, image? Reese, I'm not sure. That's not...
in Starfield, right, they showed, like, the console of, like, your ship or whatever. And on the side of it, there was this tiny little scribble. And people have been, like identifying that scribble and matching it to, like, the map of Tamriel and be like, Starfield just 100% confirmed that Elder Scrolls 6 is set here.
So little happened at E3 that people actually just... Actually, no, people would do this even if there was, like, the biggest announcements at E3. So, like, listen, you really have to squint, turn your head, and, like, just force it to go, yeah, I can see that, because that doesn't match up. That really does not match up.
Squint, Isaac, you don't have to squint. You need to close your eyes and dream it.
Yeah, no, they're thirsty for that Elder Scrolls announcement. But hey, I guess, or just more info about it. But, you'll get it soon. So, how are we feeling about E3 overall then? Like, would you say it was a win? E3's back? Or is E3 a dying trend at this point?
I don't think E3 has really came back for me. I don't know. I've cared less about E3, and that's mostly because of a personal thing for me. Because obviously, I don't really play much games to begin with, and to be honest, I really shouldn't have cared in the first place. Because even when I was young, I barely played many games to begin with either.
for me, it's kind of similar. Like, I've just kind of fallen slightly out of gaming recently, so I went into this expecting nothing. I got nothing. It was just whelming for me. Like, not overwhelming, not underwhelming, just whelming.
Whelming.
See, I'm a gamer. I was expecting a lot. I got disappointed a lot. And honestly, only 2 people should ever come back to E3. The rest of them, Ubisoft, you can stay away. You know, the Squeenix can stay away. The only people that need to come back is, you know, your Microsoft Bethesda, because they show some good stuff, and Wholesome Direct. Everyone else, who needs them?
Wait, no, I do want to hear about this Wholesome Direct thing. What was that?
So Wholesome Direct is pretty much exactly as it sounds. It is like a team, a community that collate a bunch of like indie games and stuff that have like wholesome in nature. So think games like Stardew Valley and things like that, like nice, just wholesome little indie games. And so they showed like a bunch of things. Like they showed, you know, Skatebird, a skateboarding game where you're a bird. They showed more of Paralives, which is like a Sims styled game, which looked like really cool. I forget like most of the things they showed, but yeah, it was like 1 hour, 75 games. They just showed a ton of games and just little indie games.
Damn.
Wait, so Paralyze was at E3? That's mad, actually.
Yeah, at Wholesome Direct.
Damn, that's kind of cool, because I mean, that game should gain a lot of buzz then from E3, especially because it's trying to be like Sims. Because I know a lot of like Sims YouTubers have been like talking about Power Lives as being a competitor to Sims.
Now, I'm wondering, you know, like IMVU and Second Life, the Sims YouTubers should hop onto that one.
I remember.
I remember IMVU. Yeah.
IMVU for me is literally always that game I'd see in banner ads on websites. That's all that ever was to me. That's all it ever was.
I think you're the first person I've ever heard say IMVU and not just IMVU.
Wait, people call it
Really?
Invu?
Yeah, IMVU.
Yeah, I always called it IMVU because I thought it was supposed to be like INVU.
Wait, Simi, did you ever like actually make an IMVU account though?
No, but I'm pretty sure I visited the website and then saw it was like, oh, you have to download it, and you know, the family computer is like, oh, I'm not gonna be allowed to download this. All right, then never mind.
Once upon a time.
Yeah, I did play it once upon a time. I think I played it for about a week. The only reason I knew about it was from one of my very older cousins. Like was playing it when she came to our house. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Hey, I'll play this.
Right. So you didn't discover it from the countless ads all over the internet and YouTube.
Did.
No,
I
okay.
did.
No, but I did see the ads.
Oh.
I didn't see the ads until I want to say around the 2010s, at some point in the 2010s. I don't know. Actually, no, I might have seen the ads like this year, in fact. Never mind, I might have seen the ads this year. I think I've seen ads.
Is IMVU still a thing?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like those things that's eternal, right?
Yeah. It's gotta be.
Once upon a time, Club Penguins were one of those things which was supposed to be eternal.
And Club Penguin's still going in some form or another.
And Habbo's still going.
It's not the same.
Not the same, but it is still alive. You know, it's a shame that with E3, Reese didn't get his Skyrim announcement. You know, it's a grand shame. But that doesn't mean Skyrim is out of the news cycle. Recently, there was a little bit of controversy on Twitter revolving around the game and trigger warnings. So what happened is a content creator called Sapnap intended to stream the game. So someone posted a trigger and content warning compilation or list so that anyone who wants to join the stream can know these things about the game going in. And I'll read what they wrote for the content warning. So it says child abuse, alcoholism, violence towards animals, body horror, cannibalism, a clown-like character, nyctophobic / claustrophobic gameplay, spiders and insects, torture, undead, suicide. Basically, they're listing everything in Skyrim.
Yeah.
This child abuse in Skyrim?
I think the only thing they might be referring to is, you know, when with Grella the Kind, where she's like shouting at the kids. Basically, that's about it, really. And
not really
that's
abuse, but just sort of yelling like, "Do your chores, I don't like you."
Me.
All the rest of that list, though, yeah, 100%. But like,
I just love it. A clown-like character, dude. They're referring to
Cicero. Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Is Cicero like a clown? Does he have a red
Barely.
nose?
He's a jester.
Oh, okay.
He's a Dark Brotherhood member jester that's a bit psychotic. He's basically the Joker now that I think about it.
Society.
We live in a society. Yeah. So we have this content warning being posted. I wanted to ask, how do you guys feel about the idea of putting out these content warnings to let people know about like what's in a game, despite the fact that, you know, there are already sort of the ratings on the game that detail that as well?
I mean, to me, even without like ratings of the game, like talking about all that, like my question is, why did they choose Skyrim to be the game that they do this for? Apart from him, you know, the dude streaming it, because like, Reese, how many years has Skyrim been out for?
10.
10. Yep.
Frankly, at this point, I feel like surely the average person, or like most people who would even be watching it, would at least have heard of Skyrim and heard of some of the things which are in it, so have a general gist of whether they're going to be sensitive to it or not. And so like, even like discounting like all the age rating systems, even discounting like whose responsibility is to, you know, inform consumers whether it's appropriate for them to watch something or not. Like, Skyrim is 10 years old. I really feel like people would have an idea at this point.
I would agree with that for like most things. I mean, some things is like fair, like some like sort of trigger warnings, like say suicide, makes sense to like be like, hey, by the way, this is a potential thing that can come up. Whereas like it's not like say so that the potential things like alcoholism or violence towards animals, which could be considered some of the main parts of Skyrim. Whereas like some of the other things which may only occur on like a quest here and there, and it isn't like a main part, it just may happen that some people may not know and may not be ready for that kind of stuff. Maybe, yeah, but
the only reason I can think of why people are using trigger warnings is mostly because I'm assuming Sapnap, at least his fans seem to be like around like quite young children.
Of course.
Maybe have never played Skyrim before. Let's be honest, he probably has fans that are like 12 years old. And
oh boy, he probably has
came out 10
fans
years
that
ago
were
when they
born
were
when
2.
Skyrim came out.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
no. Damn.
So there's
This
a
is
chance,
getting old.
there's a very high chance that these kids have never played Skyrim before. Or have never known about it.
See, it's what you say that, but at the same time, if this was any other game, I would say fair, but Skyrim has come out almost every year at this point. It has come out consistently, so for them to have not
That is fair, but I
Gave
have
it
no
10
idea.
years running.
That is honestly that is fair. But if you've seen the Minecraft YouTube, Twitter kind of audience people, I'm generally not surprised they've never heard of Skyrim before.
You know what's funny? If you're younger than Skyrim, you're not allowed to be on Twitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, that's like it is interesting, and I can see it being helpful in the sense of, let's say, I'm not familiar with this Sapnap creator, but it seems they're involved in the Minecraft community, so I assume they mostly play Minecraft and games around that vibe. So maybe stuff like Stardew Valley, maybe stuff like Terraria as well. So it can be quite a shift in tone to go from a game like that to Skyrim. So in that sense, I understand it.
Yeah, like imagine watching like, you know, your an innocent Sims YouTuber, and then you come and you go watch their stream and they're just playing like freaking Call of Duty, and it's like, oh, whoa, I was not expecting this.
Yeah.
Yo. But regardless, I think the only problem I have with this is that some of the trigger warnings are interesting because some of the stuff is also in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft still has violence towards animals. Technically, there is child abuse because you can technically hit the children.
you can murder every single child in Minecraft.
In that game. Yep.
All of them.
There's definitely spiders and insects.
And there's definitely spiders and insects. You can also definitely try to torture things. There's also definitely the undead. There's zombies.
Yeah.
And
this is true.
You can technically kill yourself in that game.
I guess it's just a difference between art style and just like realism, I guess, because like, you know, murdering a child in Minecraft definitely has very different vibe to murdering a child in a much more realistic looking game. So that might be something to add, but
yeah, I get that. I wonder how much it is just hunting for controversy though, because like even like a very extremely like child, take like Ratchet and Clank, you could also throw a bunch of these at it. You know?
Mm.
It's just like any game, if you're looking like desperately for like a long list of trigger warnings to make the game like sort of appear a lot worse than it is, because like, hey, look at all of these potential bad things it is. You can find an extensive list for any game in existence, except maybe like Snap.
No, Reese, I feel like that. To be honest, Snap could be also like seen as violence, because like, you know. But...
No, it is quite interesting, and I agree with that. Like, it does make the game seem a lot worse than it is. And you know, with something like this, I do get the need for content warnings, but when it comes to this, it's like, how do you actually even know how bad it is? Because something like, you know, alcoholism, the game isn't about alcohol. There's just a feature where you can drink alcohol in the game, but that's not that's not like a big part of the game,
feature,
or at least
yeah.
I mean, well,
don't think
you
so.
could claim it is, because it is like set in like, you know, the Nord area, and they're all like, yes, bring me another bottle of mead.
Okay, fair.
Also, playing devil's advocate here, you could argue, like, technically that it's normalizing the consumption and overconsumption of alcohol, which isn't a good thing, which we should be teaching kids.
And that's why the game isn't rated for kids.
Actually, funny thing, Isaac, that you mentioned that is, technically the game does encourage you to drink alcohol in the game, because obviously it gives you more stamina.
True.
It actually does help you.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, so, like, you could argue that, like, to what extent that should actually be considered an argument, I would debate myself, but you could definitely make arguments towards each of these things definitely being within the game and definitely being something which, should be warned against, but...
I feel like with something like this, it's like, okay, you can let a person post it, fine, but as far as going out of your way to express being disgruntled with it, then I feel like you're giving in to bait.
Yeah.
Because, like, sort of similar to how Reese described, you know, it's like, maybe this is completely genuine, but maybe it is also a bit like a person looking to start something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just of the sheer list.
I just looked. Skyrim is rated 17 plus, mature.
Right.
For blood and gore, intense violence, sexual themes, use of alcohol, and fictional drugs.
But Reese, again, to that though, how old were you when you played Skyrim?
I mean, about 10 years. About 12.
So you'd be around the same age these kids would be seeing Skyrim.
And I turned out fine.
I don't know, like, yeah, it just definitely feels like bait, honestly, but yeah, like we said, the people buying into it are more of the issue at this point.
A lot of Twitter now has just been, there's been so much bait on Twitter. It's been really hard. I can no longer look at a tweet anymore and just be angry at it, because I'm like, is this bait? Because it's like,
I saw one of your replies on Twitter to someone going, "Oh yeah, if to everyone who's complaining about, you know, us not earning much, you should like question why you were 12 in 2011 or something like that, right?"
Oh my god. Yeah.
And
oh my god.
I don't get that tweet at
no,
all.
Not 12 in 2011. Was it 12? No, I think the tweet was about being 18 in 2011.
That's it, 18 in 2011.
Honestly, I like that tweet just because it lucky slings at my older brother. So to me, that's funny. That's funny. I think what happened there was a lot of British Twitter was just laughing at like people born around 1993 or 1994 over I don't know. I can't remember what it was.
The reason never matters.
I think it's because they're too old.
They're in their 20s, like, what?
They're about 27.
Uh-huh.
You know the thing. No, you know what made me laugh. You know what people refer to them as? People refer to them as BBM at uni Twitter, and that fucking threw me for a loop.
My god! Wow.
It threw me for a loop.
That's freaking perfect.
I was like,
no, I actually feel bad.
I was thrown for a loop. I was like, oh my god,
okay.
yo.
We shouldn't be allowed to say things like that.
I like that.
That is amazing.
No,
I
we
don't
shouldn't be
know.
allowed
That's
to
so
say
much better than just calling someone like a boomer.
Yeah, bro, you're on BBM at uni, bro. Man, you know what? On that note, I think it's about time we wrap this thing up. Has anyone got any closing statements for us?
Elder Scrolls 6 is 100% being announced next year, right?
Hopefully. I mean, we can only hope. So we'll see.
My closing statement is, Reese, you said that last year. Just curb your enthusiasm, curb your beliefs a bit, and just like if you expect nothing and get something, you'll be happy. Whereas, you know, if you expect something and get nothing, you'll just feel this again.
Isaac,
So,
if the
lower your
Nintendo fans can be getting 100% hyped of saying the Switch Pro is definitely coming out next week for the last year, I can at least say once a year, you know?
Okay, I actually did see in the Nintendo Direct people going, "What? No Switch Pro?" And I was like, "Dude, what, really?
What is the Switch Pro even meant to be?
Just
Just a
new
more powerful
Switch
Switch,
2.
which has been rumored for like years,
But
but like again, rumored by everyone but Nintendo.
Nintendo.
So
Okay.
people really need to come."
Just like Samsung Sam.
Right. And Israel, any closing statement?
As for my closing statement, Halo is back, baby. Multiplayer is going to be free to play.
Huh. When you really think about it at this point, then doesn't that just mean that Israel actually is the person who won E3?
Yes, I am the winner of E3. Yes, I am.
I got a bunch of cool stuff at Wholesome Direct.
You know, I really got to check out that Wholesome Direct thing. I will be giving that a look. And something that you listeners can give a look is our Twitch. If you're heading over to twitch.tv/Unverif Show, you'll be able to find all of our individual Twitch streams. So there, have some good times with the boys. You can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/Unverified Show. And check the description for all our individual Twitters as well. Until next time, people, thank you for tuning in. And we'll catch you in the next episode of the Unverified Podcast.
We finally got rid of Simba.